Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Reading from Shri Caitanaya Caritamrta Madhya Lila, chapter 20, entitled The Lord Instructs Srila Sanatana Goswami, reading from text 343 to 347. Text 343. আরতিন যুগে ধ্যান দিতে জয় ফল হয়, কলি যুগে কৃষ্ণ নামে সেই ফল পায়. Translation. In the other three yugas, Satya, Treta and Dwapara, people perform different types of spiritual activities. Whatever results they achieve in that way, they can achieve in Kaliyuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Text 344. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Text 345. Whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can also be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Text 346. Whatever is achieved by meditation in Satya Yuga, by the performance of Yajna in Treta Yuga, or by the worship of Krishna's lotus feet in Dwapara Yuga, is also obtained in the age of Kali simply by chanting the glories of Lord Krishna. Text 347. Those who are advanced and highly qualified and are interested in the essence of life know the good qualities of Kali Yuga. Such people worship the age of Kali because in this age one can advance in spiritual knowledge and attain life's goal simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swaminiti Namine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine. Namacharya Padaya Nataya Kripa Pradayane Gora Katha Dhamadaya Nagara Gramatarine. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shavasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So very beautiful verses that even the previous few verses, these particular verses, amazing, glorifying the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in this age of Kali. And one line that I always like in the way these verses are all ending is simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Srila Prabhupada always made this comment that Krishna consciousness is simple for the simple-minded and complicated for the ones who are complicated. So it is totally up to us how much with a simple heart we are able to accept this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It is said that Krishna has to allow, for us to be able to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna has to allow that. It has to happen by our desire. We have to, Kartik is fast approaching. So the underlying principle of the Leela of Damodar, the Dambandhan Leela that Krishna performed with Mother Jashoda, the underlying principle over there is two aspects to receive the mercy of Krishna. One is our own effort, and the second is the mercy of the Lord. So it's not just enough if we have our own desire only, if we just keep doing our own effort. That is not just enough. We have to do our effort, and at the same time, Krishna also has to be merciful and allow us to chant the holy names. So by being pleased with our efforts, Krishna gives his mercy. So like this, the reason, one thing that we always should remember is that when we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is like in the same way that how Krishna, he awarded, Kaliya the lotus feet of himself upon the hoods of Kaliya. He danced on the hoods of Kaliya. Kaliya did not, specially request the Lord that, yes, please put your lotus feet on my head. In fact, Kaliya was just trying to hurt Krishna. But we all know, I've told this pastime before also, that how Kaliya was this king in his previous life, and how because of the benediction of this Kulinga birds, that Kaliya, as the king in his previous life, he had, taken the water that has washed the lotus feet of a devotee, of a pure devotee, and he had put it on his head. And because of that, because of putting the water that has washed the lotus feet of a pure devotee upon one's head, Kaliya, in his next life, that king became Kaliya, and he had the good fortune of Krishna, dancing on his head. That's the glory of accepting the waters of that has washed, the Charanamrita, that is coming not only from the Lord but also his pure devotees. That is great glory of the Charanamrita. And Kaliya, we know that he didn't ask, at least in this form as Kaliya, in this lifetime, Kaliya didn't ask Krishna that, Krishna, please be merciful to me, please come and dance on my hoods. He didn't do that. Kaliya was actually being very, very envious towards Krishna. He was fighting with Krishna. He was blowing fire at Krishna. So in this way, he was actually harming Krishna, trying to harm Krishna in his greatest ego. But Krishna, being so merciful, he awarded his own lotus feet on the hoods of Kaliya. The gopis actually glorify Krishna in the Gopi Gita by singing in this way. Pranata dehinam papakarshanam pranathanarpitam te padambujam. So like this, Phani Phanarpitam Te Pada Ambujam. Your lotus feet, O Krishna, you are, putting your lotus feet on Kaliya's hoods, even when Kaliya has not asked for it. So when Krishna danced on Kaliya's hoods, he just beat out all the negativity within Kaliya, all the poison that Kaliya had stored in his own, body. Krishna was, dancing on his hoods, and he was kicking all those poison out of Kaliya's system. So similarly, when we chant the holy names, we need to put our effort in to beg Krishna to please come and dance on our tongue, to make his appearance on our tongue, so that that all the negativity, all the poison that is there of, name, fame, profit, adoration, distinction, all of these negativity, of lust, pride, greed, envy, anger, illusion, all of this will be just wiped away by Krishna. That is the way we should chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, just praying that how Krishna offered his lotus feet to Kaliya, we are also begging in the same way that Krishna come and dance on our tongue. When we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that please dance on our tongue and remove all the poison from our body also, from our system. Please remove that. So therefore, this chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually a very simple process. There's no doubt about it. But it depends on how much faith we have in the chanting of the holy names. It depends on how much we are dependent on the chanting of the holy names. It depends on with what intent are we chanting the holy names. It depends on all of these factors. Are we chanting as if our life depends on it? That is the mood with which we must chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra when we are chanting, not just like an armchair philosophy, not in a relaxed way, not that we've got the entire time in the world. Shukadev Goswami narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj for 7 days and 7 nights. On the 7th night, Parikshit Maharaj achieved complete perfection through the process of Shravanam. That is Parikshit Maharaj, where we've been listening to Bhagavatam for so many years. I've been listening for the past 30 years. But nothing is happening. Why? Where's 7 days? Where is 30 years? Because we are not listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. We are not listening with the same intensity with which Maharaj Parikshit had heard Srimad Bhagavatam. When Maharaj Parikshit heard Srimad Bhagavatam, he had that sense of urgency. He knew that he was giving up his body in 7 days. So he had that sense of urgency that was driving him to chant and to seek shelter of each and every word that was coming out of the mouth of Shukadev Goswami. So when we can also chant with that same, urgency, whether we don't even know whether we will stay to live the next moment, when we are able to chant with that intensity, then Krishna reciprocates. It becomes very simple for us to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can achieve all perfection, the same, all of these verses that we read today. The underlying principle is that whatever benefit in Satya Yuga they got by meditation, in Treta Yuga by performing yajna, in Dwapara Yuga by worshipping the lotus feet of Krishna, by doing arati, by archana, worshipping the deity, by archana to the Lord, the same benefit is offered in Kaliyuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it is a very, very glorious thing to be on par with what is happening in the other 3 yugas. So it is difficult, there is no doubt about it, it is difficult, but when we are able to do it in the proper association, when, it is like, we were taught something when we were young in my school days. I remember my chemistry teacher, always my chemistry professor, he told me one thing, that the success is not in the process that you do. The success is in collecting the ingredients correctly, in having the proper measurements of the ingredients. When we used to go into our chemistry lab for lab work, so he used to tell this to us. He said that it doesn't matter what kind of process you're using. That comes later. But when you have the right ingredients in the right proportion, then you are like taking care of 80% of the work. Then you just follow the procedure and you will get success. Your equation, your experiment will definitely be successful. So it is all about having the right kind of ingredients, to have the proper ingredients when we are doing a chemical reaction. So this is also a chemical reaction, this chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. This is the process. But what are the right ingredients that help us in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It is proper sadhu sangha. It is seeking shelter of senior devotees. It is rendering service to senior devotees and to Krishna, how we can render seva to all of them. These are all the right ingredients that help us in the procedure of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we always need to be very careful that the fence that is guarding our tender Bhakti Lata Bij, that fence is very, very strong. And that strong fence is actually referring to the strong association of devotees. A person is known by the kind of company they have. So we need to be very, very mindful of whom we are seeking shelter of, whom are we taking guidance from. and then choose our association very, very wisely, because these are the most essential elements, to have them in the right proportion, to have it in the right quantity, to have it in the right, right ingredient, to have the proper, correct ingredient. And then the process will definitely be a success. Then the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra happens very smoothly. So this is how the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one of my most favorite slokas is actually, quoted here, which is Kaler Doshe Nidhe Rajan, text 344. This is a very, very beautiful verse that I personally love. And, in this regard, there's that very famous pastime of Bhima and Maharaj Yudhishthir, that after the battle of Kurukshetra, that Bhima was appointed the minister by Maharaj Yudhishthir. So anyone who had to go to Maharaj Yudhishthir had to go through Bhima. And one day Bhima was standing guard, and then one of the citizens came running. He said, Bhima, 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 I saw something very surprising. So Bhima said, oh, what did you see? He said, I saw that there was a huge elephant. A man took a huge elephant, and he passed the elephant through the eye of a needle, and the entire elephant went through, but the tail got stuck. Bhima said, whoa. Are you okay? First of all, elephant going through eye of a needle, not possible. And if the entire elephant went through, it's ridiculous for the tail to get stuck. So the citizen said, but that's what I saw, I'm not lying, Bhima. He said, okay, you can go inside and see what Maharaj Yudhishthir has to say. So Bhima sent him in. Second citizen came running. He said, Bhima, Bhima, I saw something very, 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 very astonishing. He said, what did you see? He said, I saw that there was some very nice crops, and there was fence surrounding it, and then suddenly the fence started eating the crops. So I don't know what it means. Can you tell me what it means, Bhima? Then Bhima said, well, it's above my curriculum. I don't know what this really means. So go inside to Maharaj Yudhishthir, he'll tell you. Then the third person came running, and he said, oh, Bhima, I saw something very astonishing. He said, oh, what did you see? He said, well, I saw that there is this, one big pot, earthen pot, and it had full of water, and that earthen pot was able to fill 5 small earthen pots with water. But when the 5 pots combined tried to fill this big earthen pot back with water, it was not able to do so. Bhima said, I know the answer to this. The water might have spilled away. So then they said, no, Bhima, it didn't spill. There was not even a drop that spilled. But where did all the water go? I'm so confused. Bhima said, okay, again, I don't know the answer. You can go inside and ask Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then he went inside. Then the fourth citizen came running, and this guy was panicking like anything, and Bhima said, hold on. Did you also see something very astonishing? He said, yes. He said, okay, today is the day of astonishment going on, so come inside with me. Let us go and see. You can tell your astonishing thing also directly, and let's go and see what Maharaj Yudhishthir has told the other 3 citizens. So Bhima brought this fourth citizen in, and then Yudhishthir Maharaj smiled, and he said, so what did the fourth citizen see? So the fourth citizen, he started saying that I saw a very, very astonishing thing, that there was one boy, and he took a thin, strand of thread, and he looped it around his head, and he just, made a loop around it, and then he just threw it to a big mountain. He looped a huge mountain with that thread, and he just pulled that mountain, and the entire mountain came crumbling down. So Bhima was like shocked. He said, what? With a single strand of thin thread, how can the entire mountain come crumbling down? So Maharaj Yudhishthira was smiling, and he said, okay, these are actually symptoms of Kaliyuga, Maharaj Yudhishthira said. So what did the first person see? The first person saw that there was an elephant who was being thread through the eye of a needle. The entire elephant passed through, but the tail got stuck. So Maharaj Yudhishthira said that in Kaliyuga, this is one of the symptoms that big criminals will escape the judicial system by bribing the judicial system. But it will be the small-time thieves who will get caught and, unjustifiably they will be punished. So the entire big elephant body would go across, but the small tail, the thin tail will get stuck. So big criminals will escape, but small-time thieves are the ones who get crushed down by the judicial system. So this is happening. So this is one of the symptoms of Kaliyuga. The second person saw that the fence was eating up the crops. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj said, yes, this is also another symptom of Kaliyuga, which is that those who are supposed to be the protectors, they only come and violate the ones whom they are protecting. Like Rakshak become Bhakshak, or the protectors become the ones who violate their protection. They come and, take advantage of the people whom they are protecting. So this is happening in Kaliyuga. This is the second one. The third one was about the earthen pot, the big earthen pot filling up 5, and 5 combined was not able to fill 1. So Maharaj Yudhishthira said that this is another symptom of Kaliyuga, that parents or the guru will be able to take care of many kids or many disciples. But all those kids together will not be able to take care of one parent or both parents. They'll put them in old age home. They'll not be able to take care of, the elderly. They'll not be able to do that because there is a lack of attitude of gratitude in Kaliyuga. So what the Guru gives us is so much selfless. Not only our Diksha Guru, but Shiksha Guru, Vartma Pradarshak Guru. These Gurus, when they give us Krishna consciousness, we are very grateful in the initial days. But as soon as we get initiation, as soon as we have come to also rendering some kind of services, then we just disregard, we just disrespect our, Shiksha Gurus, our Vartma Pradarshak Gurus, as if they are nothing. Now I am even senior to those who introduced me. But, Krishna takes our devotional service seriously only when he sees that we have gratitude to the people who have introduced us to Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna will not take us seriously. We should remember that. So this lack of attitude of gratitude is prevalent in Kaliyuga. So this is the third symptom. And then the fourth person who saw that a tiny thread was able to loop down on a mountain and make it crush down, Yudhishthira Maharaj then said that this is the only one good quality in Kaliyuga. Kaler doshe nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahad gunan. That there's only one good quality in this ocean of Kaliyuga, ocean of faults. What is that? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. That simply by chanting the holy names, when we chant on our Japamala, the thread of the holy name has the power to loop around our mountain of sins and make it crumble down. Just crumble down all our mountains and mountains of sins. That is the potency of the Hare Krishna mantra. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said that this is the only good quality in Kaliyuga. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajat. So this, by chanting this Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, that only by chanting the holy names of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. Not here it doesn't say Vaikuntha. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is talking about Param Vraja. It's talking about Goloka Vrindavan. It's not just talking about any spiritual world. But here it is talking about Goloka Vrindavan, Param Vraj, Vrajadham, that Sri Goloka Vrindavan Dham. So this is the beauty of the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which we should not take very lightly. We should be able to chant the holy name, 24 hours a day. That is the objective. That is the, desire with which we chant the holy name. That yes, we are chanting our, regulated number of rounds every day, but we should try and focus on chanting 24/7. That should be our objective, and that is possible only when Krishna is pleased with our efforts. And then, by being pleased with our efforts, Krishna bestows his mercy upon us. So today I will end here. If there's any questions, comments, or reflections, we can take that now. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I just had one question, Mataji. Among the four persons, what did the last person say, Mataji? I could not get it.
Come again, what did the last, what's that?
Last person who came to Bhima, and what did he say about the mountain?
Okay. So he saw that there was one person who had a thin thread in his hand, and he looped it around the mountain, and he pulled that mountain, and that entire mountain came crushing down. So Yudhishthir Maharaj said that this is the only good thing in Kaliyuga, that simply by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, like we chant on our beads, that beads of the holy name, the thread of the holy name, has the potency to crush down our mountain-like sins.
Okay,
that is
got it.
So.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.